Hi, welcome back. I'm Shannon Kerr, and I like to call this the evolution of mom because I love to teach about different ways to evolve in motherhood instead of thinking that you're stuck as you are, never growing. So I'm bringing you tips and tools to get out of your head and back into your life. And today I want to talk about the magic of not taking things personally. This is probably my biggest um, road, no, speed bump when it comes to um, various things, especially dealing with my husband, my partner. So we're going to talk about the idea of stepping out of the movie and learning how to change your perspective in order to allow empathy for yourself and for everyone in your life. So, whether you're watching here on where am I? Whether you're watching YouTube or I'm going to slide this back into the podcast as well, please hit like and subscribe, do all the things to help me get this message out to more moms because we deserve to really drop the emotional baggage and start enjoying the joy of being a mom. It can be awesome if we let it, if we stop overthinking and judging ourselves and just go with the flow a little more. So, here's a little story for you because I am my best client and um this is what happened to me on the weekend because I admit I'm not perfect either and I'm still working through stuff. So this weekend it's been gorgeous here and I asked my husband to go for a walk in the evening. It's been so hot during the day that the dog doesn't like going out during the day. It's too hot on his feet. So we went out for a walk in the evening when things had cooled down. And it could have been a peaceful, loving experience if I hadn't allowed myself to take things personally. So, what happened was we walked over to our nearby school to let the dog run because that's kind of what everybody does in the neighborhood. They walk their dogs in the evening, the dogs play, whatever. And my husband spotted someone that he knew and started talking to him. And if you've ever met Shane, he's a talker. He'll talk to anybody. And he knew this guy. They started talking about bikes. And I was like, that's it. So I had a choice. I had many choices here. And I chose to take this to mean that he didn't want to talk to me. He wanted this other person was more interesting to him. And so I started feeling hurt and continued walking. And I walked over to where some other people were with their dogs so that at least my dog was having a good time. So, yes, in this situation, I was making assumptions and I was also kind of hoping that he would read my mind and know that it was important to me for him to come and join me. But instead, I just kind of glared at him and continued walking. And finally, after he had finished a long conversation, he rejoined me and the dog and we carried on. And I said to him, I pointed out, like, I I felt like you didn't want to spend time with me. And he still saw the story differently. He likes talking to people. He hadn't seen this guy in a while. And he also looked over and saw me talking to other dog owners and enjoying my time. So he didn't see he didn't see the story in the same way that I did. So basically, he had a nice walk and I fumed. I was bothered by it. And I actually was bothered by it for like another day. I tell you, I'm not perfect, right? So the reason why I'm telling you this story is because we do get stuck in these stories in our head, and taking things personally in a relationship is such an egocentric way of seeing the world. We're we're not toddlers anymore, right? If you think about a toddler, um, I did my early childhood education, and something that really stuck with me from that training was that toddlers see the world in an egocentric way until like the age of 5 sometimes. They have no concept of the fact that other people have feelings until some of them the age of 5, some of them younger, but that realization that, I get hurt or upset or excited or whatever, other people get these feelings too. That doesn't kick in until 5 years old. So if you have toddlers at home, just that they're not doing it on purpose. They just don't have that part of their brain kicked in yet. But we do. However, we tend to tune it out and see things from our own storyline. If you imagine we're all walking around in our own little movie, seeing ourselves as the hero of the story. And however, as we start to understand that everyone else has their own story going on and their own thoughts and feelings that are different from our own. So this does cause a problem in like this situation that I had, right? That we forget to see the different perspectives and how we're just looking into how other people fit into our story rather than, you know, oh, I wonder what was happening in his head. So my story was that we had gone for a walk as a couple, and that, you know, we should continue walking and talking, and this was meant to be like couple time. His story was more of like getting out of the house and experiencing the outdoors, getting the dog out, and also mingling with our community, which is something that he really enjoyed. Well, I like people too, but I won't, yeah, but that is something that Shane really like enjoys people. So what I did, because I noticed that a day later, and I'm still like, I can't believe blah, blah, blah. He should have known. He should have known was kind of the clue for me. How is he going to know if I don't talk to him, if I don't voice, my plan for the walk or my expectations? Um, so tapping is a really quick, simple tool to use to bring that perspective and also to diffuse the emotional charge. Because I had this attachment to this story of like, we went on this walk and he made me mad, and I'm going to keep carrying that around. It wasn't making for a great weekend if I did that. And so just tapping out the feelings, really simple and clinical, will help to get them out of your head, speak them out, let your body process them. It doesn't have to be complicated. Basically, just tapping out the feelings in your body that are connected to the experience. So, we're going to try this together. And this time I'm going to do it a little differently. Rather than giving you all the words to use, I want you to even pause this and think about a time when someone did something that you took personally, and really ask yourself, like, what was the feeling that came with that experience? When I think about that scenario, what feelings come up for me? And also, where do I feel them in my body? So this time, instead of me giving all the words, I'm going to give some fill in the blank sentences for you so that you can start practicing this method of tapping. And it's vent tapping at its best. It's very just forthright. Here's the feeling. Here's what it feels like. That's it. We're not trying to force in any new feelings. We're just getting that feeling out. So, again, thinking about what the feeling was that you've attached to the scenario of whatever happened that made you take something personally, like that person did something and I felt wronged in some way. What is like, how does your body react to that? Whether it's like tension or a heaviness or anything like that. Where do you feel it in your body? And on a scale of 1 to 10, when you think about that scenario, how strong is it? So, yeah, this is a new thing to just do the fill in the blanks. So bear with me, but always take a breath before we start tapping. If you need to kind of get yourself in a place where you can be comfortable and do try to say the words out loud so that your brain is not just hearing them from me, but hearing them from you as well, especially because we're filling in the blanks. So, starting on the side of the hand, even though I feel when I think of this experience, I still love and accept myself completely. Even though I feel in my whatever body part, when I think about this thing that happened, I still choose to love and accept myself. Even though I feel when I remember this experience, that's okay. I still love and accept all parts of me. Okay, so now we're going to tap through the body points and continually reminding yourself about the feelings. So, still fill in the blanks. This feeling of eyebrow point, when I think about that moment, side of the eye, I feel so under the eyes. My body is under the nose. All of these feelings under the mouth. I thank my body for holding them. Collarbone point. These feelings of under the arms, they make my body feel under the chest. I wonder if I can get ready to let them go. Wrist point, because I love and accept myself completely. Okay, let's pause and notice now. Did you feel any sensations in your body? Was there any sign of release, whether there's yawning or tingling? Even just a softening of tension within your body. But how did that feel? Did any new thoughts come up for you? So, for me, like this very just here's the feeling clinical tapping. I did this tapping for myself with around this scenario, the walk. And after just one round, I had new thoughts coming to me. I realized I had been focusing just on my story. And I also realized that I was just hurting myself by carrying this frustration, right? I mean, it's annoying for him if I'm frustrated, but it's not causing him that physical sensation that it is for me. And I also realized I had been expecting him to read my mind because I didn't feel confident in asking for what I wanted. So, this is where tapping is like a conversation with your thoughts and your feelings, and like, oh, what's happening there? So, after that first round of tapping, I noticed I thought again about the experience of the walk. Like I put myself in that story again, and the hurt feelings were gone. So I didn't feel myself getting upset anymore or reactive. And I felt a new confidence about speaking up for myself so that I can think, okay, next time when we're going for a walk, if I really want him to just walk with me, I can speak up like, hey, babe, do you want to wrap it up? That kind of thing. Or I can just go by myself and let him have his conversation. Either way, I'm choosing for me. I'm not making his actions mean anything about how I want to feel for myself. Right. So we're going to do another round of this fill in the blank tapping. And I will keep the emotions, like those gaps, for you to fill in. So continually reminding about the words that you used before, whatever that feeling was. Even though I started out feeling about this experience, I'm getting ready to let that go. Even though I was feeling when I thought about what happened, I choose not to take it personally because I love and accept myself completely. Even though I was feeling, I am getting ready to let it go because I love and accept myself completely. Okay, top of the head. I wonder how it would feel in my body. Eyebrow point. If I allowed some space. Side of the eye. Maybe I don't have to carry this anymore. Under the eyes. I'm curious about changing perspectives. Under the nose. Maybe I can see this in a different way. Under the mouth. How would it feel to think that everyone is doing their best? Collarbone point. Maybe I don't have to take this event personally anymore. Under the arms. I'm getting ready to let this old perspective go. Under the chest. Especially because I deserve to feel good. Wrist point. I'm getting ready to let go of those hurt feelings. Okay, pausing again. Any new messages coming up for you? Any new release? And checking in again, that intensity from the beginning. How strong was it then? How strong is it now? And I will say sometimes a new feeling pops up like, oh yeah, I'm not mad about that thing anymore, but now I'm feeling this new and it's jumped up. And that's okay. You can come back to venting. Just how does that feeling feel? Vent it out. The work of tapping is emotional freedom, not meaning that we're not having feelings. It means we are free to let the emotions come and go without any self-judgment, without the fear, and without avoiding the feelings. They're all welcome to come and go. So you can repeat that round if you need to kind of release any more, or we can just move into affirmations. And we're going to just start right with tapping on the body points for those affirmations. So starting right on the top of your head, I am ready to stop taking things personally. Eyebrow point, I am a person who's open to new perspectives. Side of the eye, I choose to believe the best of people. Under the eyes, I'm ready to believe that things are working out for me. Under the nose, I am letting this go. Under the mouth, I allow feelings of love to flow into my body. Collarbone point, I am listening to the whole story. Under the arms, I am part of the bigger picture. Under the chest, I let go of this discomfort with love. And wrist point, I am becoming a person who doesn't take things personally. So these little reminders are amazing. And as I say, tapping can be just that simple, clinical, here's this feeling, getting comfortable, being uncomfortable with the feeling. But the more that you tap away these old hurts and emotions that you've been carrying, the more that space that your body will have for loving intentions, right? Imagine the time and the space that you would have instead of like mulling over, like, oh, that person did me wrong, and holding old grudges like that. Oh, so much more energy. But it takes practice, right? It takes a lot of practice to shift out of negative thought patterns. Out that is like the safe spot for our brain. It always wants to revert into the negative because your brain wants to keep you safe, and it thinks that it keeps you safe by kind of preventing you from developing and growing and trying new things. So tapping into those fearful thoughts, those negative thoughts, and just letting them go will do that work for you. It's neuroplasticity happening. Like you're really, I like to think of neuroplasticity. That word is so amazing that it's your brain is like plasticine and you are molding it and shaping it with this work. So your brain is not fixed, it's fluid. You can change the thought patterns the more aware you are of your thoughts. It's meta thinking, right? We're thinking about the thoughts that we're thinking. So imagine the energy you could have if you weren't spending all your time listing the hurt feelings that you have. Like, oh, I have to feel bad about this person, and I have to feel resentful about that person, and I have to carry along this memory of what happened to me 10 years ago, and just blah. And also, if you can see each person in your life as individuals who are also living their own experience, they're not just here to be in your movie. It creates a whole way higher level of empathy and understanding for people. So give that session a try. I'd love to hear in the comments. Let me know how that felt to think about that scenario and to choose to not take it personally anymore. Again, like and subscribe. And if you're curious to try a private session with me, I am open for sessions. So hope to chat with you soon. All right. Have a great day.